Alright, here's the 1985 VHS of Gus. Of course, it was released in 1981, then reissued in 85, albeit with the changed font to home video. And this is the first tape in my collection that just says V next to the stock number, not VS. And it stars Ed Asner and Don Knotts. Of course, Ed Asner was Carl Fredricksen and Up. Of course, Don Knotts is in several Disney films. The tape, print date, which you might not be able to see, it's May 28th, 1985. And I actually watched it. It's actually a pretty fun movie. It's not a great film, but it's fun for what it is. Pretty cool idea of a mule kicking field goals. Alright, the 1985 video release of That Darn Cat. Of course, with Haley Mills. Roddy McDowell's in this too. It's a well-known Disney comedy from the 60s. It was also remade. A lot of those 60s, 70s Disney comedies get remade. Parent Trap, That Darn Cat, Freaky Friday. Yep, there's the tape. And the print date on this tape is March 15th, 1985. There it is. 1985 video release of That Darn Cat. Starting in December 1985, the Neon Mickey editions got different packaging from the earlier ones. And of course, let me do side by side here. You can tell the difference here. Mickey takes up more of the box on these older tapes. They started doing this in late 1985 for the Making Your Dreams Come True promotion, which had all titles priced at $29.95 from December 1985 to January 1986. And Tron, this video release of Tron is one of them. It's the reissue, and it touts it's in stereo. And of course, like I said in the previous video, Tron is one of my favorite films. I think it's just a really good film, kind of misunderstood. And Tron Legacy, I highly recommend it, especially in IMAX 3D. I think that's the way to see it. Of course, it's pretty much similar to the previous Tron cover. Just some minor little differences there. You got the tape with the blue bars there. And they didn't hide the PG rating this time around. So by this time, The Black Cauldron was out of theaters, and that was the first PG-rated Disney animated film. Print date on here is August 20th, 1985. So there it is, the 1985 video reissue of Tron. Here's another 1985 title, but I think this is the first video release of this title, The 3 Lives of Thomasina, which is supposed to be a pretty good film from what I hear. Side of it, and they also had different colored borders this time around. Notice this one has a different colored border than the Tron one. Pretty interesting. It's on beta. And this comes with a little bonus on the inside. You got the tape. Print date on this is November 6, 1985. Get this out carefully here. Here we got a business reply mail card. And nobody's written on it. Nice to know. It mentions record store on the back, because back in the mid-80s, people were still, vinyl was still a little bit popular, even though CDs were taking over. So there's the 3 Lives of Thomasina. Well, let me check and make sure this is the first video release. Yep, if it has a 1 next to the stock number, that means it's pretty much the first video release of that title. During the Making Your Dreams Come True promotion in 1985, collector's titles were introduced. Now, A Disney Christmas Gift was previously released in 1984, part of a Christmas promotion that featured the Disney DTV music video titles and the original Classics release of Robin Hood. And this is basically just a tape of different segments. I have not watched it yet, but you know, it's composed of different segments, and yeah, you can tell it's the second release of that title because there's a 2 next to the stock number. And it's got different segments from, it's like a Christmas special, really. There's also a Walt Disney Christmas and others. I like the fact that it comes in full artwork, though. A Disney Christmas Gift. And the print date is August 12th, 1985. Nice collector's item. There you have it, a Disney Christmas Gift. Alright, here's another collector's video released exclusively for the Making Your Dreams Come True promotion. This is the Walt Disney Comedy and Magic Review, which is much like the Disney Christmas Gift tape. It's composed of different segments from various Disney films. I'll show you the VHS copy first. And from what I understand, this is kind of a rare tape. They make a special copyright for BMI Limited. I guess they must have helped Disney on Return to Oz. Parts of that are featured on this tape. Print date is October 15th, 1985. I got this on eBay back in 2006. I think it was like $15, maybe $10. Wasn't that much. I bet it's a rare tape, though. There's the beta copy, of course, much smaller. I watched it. I thought it was kind of, well, I wonder why Disney would kind of make a program like this with just all the magical scenes from their movies. It felt like a skit or something, like a variety show or something. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just kind of different, kind of seeing that coming from Disney. And the print date on here is October 4th, 1985. You see, let me look at the back description for 1 second. Yeah, I guess it's just like the best of Disney in terms of magic, although it included like Babes of Toyland, Absent-Minded Professor, Return of Oz, Happiest Millionaire. Had quite a couple scenes in it. Even had a couple Disney films that weren't even on video at the time. So there you have it. The Walt Disney Comedy and Magic Review. In May 1986, for the Classics release of Alice in Wonderland, there were some Disney titles that were reissued in cardboard slipcover cases, live-action favorites. Here we got Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, which was cobbled together from the first 3 episodes of the Disneyland television series, and it's a great film. And I got this at a rental store that was closing down. And it actually has the 1985 label on it, not the 1986 label. The print date's kind of torn off there. Yep. There's a sticker there. There were a couple other titles, some of which I do have, that were released at the same time Alice in Wonderland was released in the cardboard slipcover case. Here we got another one, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Mentions the Academy Awards it got for Best Special Effects and Best Art Direction and Set Decoration. This is a great film. It was very revolutionary for its time in terms of the special effects. Goes to show that Walt was quite an innovator. And, you know, it's got Dolby Surround, it's in stereo, touts that it's in stereo. This is a fabulous film, I think. Pretty lengthy, but it's fabulous. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes. There's no print date on this tape, unfortunately. Here's a 1986 release of Bedknobs and Broomsticks, which I thought was pretty entertaining. It's not the greatest, but it was still entertaining nonetheless. Academy Award winner for Best Visual Effects, 1971. Live action animation hybrid, much like Mary Poppins. Has Angela Lansbury and Roddy McDowall in it. Pretty decent songs in there too. One sec. Yep. And the print date you can barely see, and I couldn't really make it out either. Looked like it said March 14th, 1986. Get it back in the case there very carefully. I also got this at my local Tommy K's that was closing down. Alright, here's another 1986 cardboard slipcover release. The Absent-Minded Professor, also a former rental. This is the first time the film was colorized, much like they did with Casablanca. And, you know, if it was originally filmed in black and white, then they should have kept it that way. And there's even a little notice before the film saying that it used to be in black and white, and then they digitally redid it in color. Yep, Tommy K's video. And the print date on here, it's not on a sticker, it's actually printed on the bottom. October 31st, 1986. Alright, here we got the original video release of The Journey of Natty Gann, a 1985 Disney film. Look how this banner says The New Disney, and new is underlined. Contemporary films for the 80s family. What's that supposed to mean? It was a PG-rated film, so who knows? Of course, Disney has no problem releasing PG films now, but back in the 80s it was such a big deal for them. This is a Canadian copy. And it doesn't have a print date. How can you tell it's a Canadian copy? First, look at the label. If it doesn't have the FBI and just these two warnings, then it's a Canadian copy. Be kind, please rewind. Got this on eBay sometime around 2007. A lot of stickers on here. Lots and lots of stickers. And it also announces that it's in hi-fi stereo, high fidelity. Also, there's another way to tell if this is a Canadian copy. Let me show you. Alright, this is the opening to a Canadian Disney printing VHS. And here's how you can tell. It will begin with the warning screen and not the FBI warning. And duplication in whole or in part of this video cassette is prohibited. This is from the Natty Gann VHS. Neon Mickey. Also interesting about this tape is that it has the Walt Disney Pictures logo on it. The other VHS of The Journey of Natty Gann that I have that has the Sorcerer Mickey logo does not have the Walt Disney Pictures logo. Isn't that something? Alright, starting in the summer of 1986, they started packaging the tapes in these clamshells where you could slide the artwork out, rather than having the art, you know, non-removable like this tape. See, you can't remove the art on that tape, but you can on this tape. And this is Mary Poppins, of course. This was released on video first in 1980, and it's always been available on video since. They constantly reissue it on DVD, and it should make a big debut on Blu-ray soon. There's the tape. Print date, July 25th, 1986. There you have it. The beta, 1986 beta of Mary Poppins. Alright, here's another one. Return from Witch Mountain. There's several others with this packaging, and I should be getting them sometime soon, but I only have two, the Mary Poppins and the Return from Witch Mountain. This is the sequel to Escape to Witch Mountain. And this is actually the first video release of Return from Witch Mountain. And it has a trailer for The Journey of Natty Gann on it. And it also has a very rare Now on Walt Disney Home Video screen, which I did show on my older account, but I'll show it again. There's your tape. Print date, April 17th, 1986. So that's all of my Neon Mickey tapes. Also, a little side note here, the hub for holding the tape in place is actually on the top of the case rather than, they usually have it down here on the bottom, but it's up here for some reason. Just found that kind of interesting. Alright, here comes the rare Now on Walt Disney Home Video screen from the 1986 Return from Witch Mountain VHS. Don't mind the tape hissing. This tape's probably been played several times. Here it comes. There it is. I showed this on a video a year or two ago on my old account.